manifesting this win right here, right now.
Yeah, grand final.
ترى ليه في
Many different forms. We're starting off with how Power struggles on early games off spawn fights, and Noah Riley, Mr. Savage, they had a big battle down. Noah showed that he was.
And it's all because Benji scares Noah into going somewhere else. Because of it. Benji, though, saw a sign of weakness, and because of that, he will pounce. Trying to grab more space. Kiryachi looking in the background. This is one of the best players at fighting in the early game, and Benji is not scared whatsoever.
Yeah, Power vacuum basically over at Slurpy Swamp, and Benji gets in the box with style, breaks through, hits a big shot, and shows his power afterwards.
رؤية مزيانة شوني الفوق قاعد
used to seeing out of Benji. I say yes, but it might be overconfidence as he pushes a fight against one of the best players in the world. Now we're switching over to Flois, and for him it's a shift.
Yeah, for him, he was holding Power in game number 1, continues to, dropping down Froggy, who was in second place on the leaderboards at the time, but holding Power sometimes comes with a cost. He loses it over to Advise, and we see one of our new players who are in that second place slot.
Second place for Hen after a very good game number 1, and follows it up with a pretty decent game number 2 at 10th place for him, but a couple of Elans to boot. And that will put him where he needs to be if he wants to grab that crown at the end of the day.
Grab that crown.
Sign of
Yeah.
power. He falls in 11, but that's at least solid enough.
هذا كيش خدام.
Yeah, and this is where Power starts for a lot of
هذا
players.
غريب. فيهم غريب. دنمارك.
Who had Caddy Corner and the Mythic Elite as well. The Shockwave launcher, it's charged shotgun too. And he just made Power become his tool in this legend incarnate, literally just personifying the organization he's on and using his entire endgame as a playground. Bouncing people up, shooting them down after that two-piece right there. It's so dynamic, and yes, we saw Flois with the hunting rifle. We saw him with the charge shotgun last time, but for me, it was Anas's gameplay, his creativity that really separated him from the pack and showed us his use of power.
And Anas, that's but this time it goes down. Kit spawns down at the gas station, and that's where Anas is lurking. He had a good game last time in 10th place, but if you want to become a legend at the end of the day, if you want to solidify yourselves among the great, immortalize yourself, you need to have games like that. And Anas and Hen, both at the top of the leaderboards, org mates, and they're standing strong.
Both these guys are looking to break away. Is ahead of the game, 28 points, but
Gets that top slot, he holds it completely, especially at Caddy Corner. So I feel like, yes, that's my call.
I like it. Quick and concise. With that being said, guys, let's throw it into game number 3 here in EU of the FNCS Grand Finals. Casters, we're sending it back your way to get into the action.
Into the action, yeah.
Thank you so much, Zeke.
Game blast.
As always, everyone is looking to become a legend, but right now to become legend players occupying first and second. And if
Hi.
you're just joining us,
مالك ما يقدر يخزر والله مالك ما يقدر.
joined here by the fantastic
مالك ما يقدر.
spelling. This is match number 3, the halfway point of the EU FNCS Solos Grand Final. If you're watching at Party Royale and you just dropped in, hit one of those telephone booths with changing stations. Make sure you get your favorite outfit on, then head on over to the main stage, catch the action out. You can see where everyone's dropping. And who that player is it Savage? Is it Noah Riley who came out on top? And of course, who's going to come out of Caddy Corner on top? That is always a question in all of these players' minds. Right now, you can see cutting over the top of the lake, switching over to Anas, who's landing over towards the weather station side from Caddy. You can see looking to figure out if he's going to be able to go through.
اسحب لي نعم لاعبين اللي هي
See what's going on. As of right now, doesn't look like he's actually going to have a
أو أنا فهمت.
Also, a number of players coming over just to the southwest of him. So right
Shit.
now, coming out, we talked about this
ما
earlier.
نقدر لا لا مو سكيبورد.
Quite going to find again.
بزاف على المندو هو روشه واحد
راك ماشي والو لا مرجع تحت
And he's in a very good spot to keep that first place, but him right behind him, you've got to keep your eye on that elimination feed for that come up as well.
خمس اكروبي
Only 3
كيوت
points behind is able to make a play.
هذا السول البارح هذا معرق هذا ترافيس سكوت
Deal gonna get some nice shots there. That's fastest though. They're gonna get that player up. The nice edit is gonna drop the player down. The edit around as well. He's got him boxed up, but the fish is gonna escape as the deal. Looking to crash that on in. Using the jump there. He's actually not gonna go in. He's gonna take the wall and the cone up top. And that was so smart to outplay Advise there.
Well done picking up Advise there. We talked about kind of the different types of crash pads.
فرست فيه البارح حتى هذا والله اللي يطيح
Him jumping up prevented him from falling in. So then, when Advise went to exit the
راهو
situation,
بنجي
he got
في
picked
شيء
up, and now over to Slurpy Swamp. We watched this fight happen last time. Benji
سؤاله وش
Kiriachi saying no splitting going on here. This is my side, but Kiriachi
طحنش هاد السكين عرفتش علاش لكن باغي
predator instead of the prey and closing in on Benji as he's hitting the slurp pair.
والله ما كنحمل
Wants to kind of resolve this beforehand, and now
حاجات يعبيها تسمع
لعبتي بيه انت
close out this box fight. Do they look to
لعبت
take each
بيه
other on, or are
إيه
they
راكم؟
trying to disengage the situation? And right now, Benji's saying, hey, I need more mats.
عنده وجوه
He disengaged,
Yeah, I remember.
perfectly got up and is out. Also want to point out 35 of the current players also competed in the FCS Invitational.
كده يا اخي بلوكا
In this grand finals, they know what to do, especially these two players on the screen right now. Is Kiriachi is going to take some damage there.
والله بالله
Rare tactical shotgun, and now
واخد
need to find a creative way inside. Kiriachi actually went up and around the shots.
على حسب توصل اللي كانت الله قرا على بالك شنو هذا
He takes a nice tag down to Kiriachi. He still has yet to take any damage himself.
ما راح نحن
Kiriachi was ready to back and forth going in favor of Benji right now. Kiriachi
واحد
the
بسوس
pressure up. Benji going to get tagged up a lot there because he couldn't build the floor. Trying to pick X for that code as the edits come through. Benji going through old builds. This is really good, but once you reset that metal, it's very, very weak. It's easy to hit. Please put some distance in between him, Kiriachi, and Dominia's side.
برجع بدي يقرا
I was
ناري
going to say Dominion Snipe, hearing the action going on, wants to take a peek inside, but he very well knows who's there, and I'm not sure you want to jump on into that pond. Don't want to get boxed like a fish between those two. It's more like getting boxed between two sharks. A rock at a hard place. Pick which one and who's who, because Benji, right now, just again,
بلوكا عندك هذا
he's done
زباين
enough to fend off Kiriachi. You say, how long are we going to do this for? How long are we going to burn mats
No.
and just sit here and force each other back? Because both of these players are good enough to hold the other off, or at least make them pay for it if you don't get that initial
تعرف
damage
كيف
off the start.
بنجي وكان يصير بلوكا
Kind of backing off
هادشي غير بينما غير بينما
بلوكا ما تسبق
maps before heading
بلوكا ما يصير
سير قبيله عنده السيف ديال سيزون 6
this engagement.
And I'm not surprised with Kiriachi. He is very, very aggressive, but we'll have to see if that turns out in any of their favors. As 7-4 now being aggressive onto Diablo. Diablo's going to get the initial shots there. And now 7-4 can disengage if they want to, but on the edge of zone, really hard to disengage because you're trying to run away, then you just get shot in the back. And it's just unfortunate there. So box to box, diagonal to diagonal, Diablo and 7-4 looking to do a little peanut butter edit. Look at that jump shot there. 7-4 looking to get any sort of wall take back, and he does. Diablo ready for the shot. He's going to pick reset there. Going to get the tag in favor of 7-4, but still not as much HP there as Diablo. His shots are still coming through. He does pop a mini. Continued back and forth over these peanut butter areas. That's that triangle edit that you see as he goes in. He goes aggressive with that crash pad, but Diablo was ready for it. Did you see how many edits he had? How many space he had? He was predicting that perfectly. But 7-4 is ready for the edit. He's ready for Diablo popping up, and he said, you know what? I'll bait the heel out, but I'm going to get that elimination.
Yeah, and a really good job from 7-4 there, baiting Diablo into something that he had owned and then committed him to the fight, caught him with the builds out, and then following up with the tactical shotgun. And it's really fruitful to resolve that fight because there was a player boxed up right on the edge of zone who would have been able to range shot.
تشوفوا الغس ألتي ما تحبها
There's the format on the right-hand side. You can see first round of placement points coming through, top 75, next one at top 50.
والله ما باغي خلينا نتفرج
Fall until we reach top 25, then it's every 5 players.
شوف انا فين واقف
بغينا نضربوا
So definitely want to be making those end games, but also 1 point first.
فين واقف انا
We'll pick up Phoenix there. We'll also get a point, and that's his second of the night.
And he may have taken coolest out of his name, but right now he's the coolest of the authority, picking that elimination up. He's been very, very good. He actually, I believe, one of the players that came through the open track of the FNCS Invitationals. That happened a couple months ago, but still maintaining power over the authority here.
Oh, لا معلم.
The agency, so dominant performance from Carrot. He's also got the zone there as well. You see him already building up and refarming. In this looking to set up an ambush like we talked about, hiding in this little upgrade room. Even if anybody waiting to upgrade their loot, he's got a great legendary
واو على لوت.
They're coming into the house. Will they open it? He set a trap up perfectly. He set a trap up, but he put a wall, Griff. Put a wall there. The
كده يقول بخونس كده يقول لا
لا
كده ويا شارج ميتي شارج لاجو سكار لاج فابور
Sometimes you set the trap in the bait, it turns out you are the bait, you don't reel in what you want. As we talked about, he was looking for a slurp fish and instead pulled one of the loop sharks there, Griff, turning it around after a rough game number 2 getting eliminated basically off drop. Arden trying to spring a little bit of an ambush there, but instead going down. So good job on Griff, who we saw also had a very impressive run in order to qualify here. But now E11's Tayson, a player who we saw be super successful yesterday. The problem is he hasn't necessarily really converted it today. Consistently seen him towards the top. He's actually 7th coming in. So not doing too bad today, but probably also a little bit outside in terms of the placement that he would be wanting, averaging a top 27 placement and 5 elims total across the 2 games.
And I think that may be due to the amount of loot that he's getting. He isn't scheming with 2 other players. It's really, really hard to find all that loot. If you see it in his inventory right now, he doesn't have crash pads, but that common AR is not going to net you a lot of elimination. He's going to have to find a way to upgrade that, whether that be through an impact elimination or finding one naturally. Because it seems like this is the open side of zone, and that meaning just all around him. He's got a little space to work with there. When he doesn't have that much space, there's a lot of players here. Bypass Sniper. He does have 15 points, a decent first couple of games, but not where he wants to be. There is a player nearby. He's got to be careful with the sniper. If you don't have it, he's going to turn the beam back onto him, but not going to hit it. He's only 22 above first, and that is nowhere near safe. If you see it, already taking down to 19.
Yeah, and that Storm Surge threshold on the right side of your screen there. The number for zone number 3 is 7. So currently 17 players have to go down. That sniper will be starting to look for tags here, but also doesn't necessarily want to overlap. He doesn't have a ton of materials and he is out in the open, so it's a lot of players.
كان مع شحال كان وقيلا هو اول واحد يتاهلوا للورد كاب فرنساويين.
And now only 4 above. You talked about how kind of that threshold keeps on ticking. He's trying to
ولا معرقة
we have Ovation Ariana
مالك بس
in on him, as well as 2 players already in the zone and coming back, and this is going to be key. And he got it.
What
Tags in Elam coming on. Super unfortunate, using the crash pads desperately.
السماء يا حبيبي.
Even with those tags, only 62 above.
And you can tell he's not happy with it. He's already looking to move into zone.
شارج أزرق.
He's going to use it. The 62 above, just turn to 60 above. And just going to turn to 52 above. And you're going to start trickling down that leaderboard, and everybody near you get eliminations. But Bad Sniper, maybe we're going to set up an ambush here onto Keswick.
لا شجع.
Nearby Sky
بزاف.
Sniper shot is going to rain there. Not actually going to connect onto anybody, but I'm looking to be aggressive on his path.
شفت خايف بزاف. هو اللي تشيق يقتل كليمون.
Limit there. Seinfeld has a very good position in the zone. He can rotate to his right or his northeast there. Could really take the play on that side of the zone. His shots are going to come through. He heard that sniper shot come through. That player got tagged up by everybody.
Free kill.
Going to fall. Down.
To a single shot going in there. We talk about it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And it's sometimes worth just throwing the AR bullets over, both for Storm Surge tags, but you might get a little bit of that RNG on your side and pick up the elimination. Somebody else did most of the little punching rifle shot coming through, but they'll be will impact the players who have the least amount of damage to opponents. But Floppa Michael punishing Kinzel there, who was under that pressure as 4 more players will need to go down before it turns off. Controller 7 picks up Maestro. Gambit's Moaka also goes down, but you can see Flop and Michael also under pressure here. He was the player who had the brilliant crash pad play yesterday, and he set up another one here and end up converting as
أو أنس أنس مانيش لونس غرنا بونت ميتيك
nice little replay.
جب
See what's going on here. Chaining the crash pads, landing directly on top of the player,
فري كيل
catching him over on the side. Sven, what are you doing? Cover your back, man. You can't be doing that on the edge of the zone. But Anas pushing himself further out towards the lead. Don't forget he
شكون باغي يربح في الاف ان سي اس فينال؟
معش
courtesy of
ما
the
معش
elimination and
انس اخويا مغربي.
ماشي مغربي أنس
Very great play from Anas to realize that he was being ambushed here as well.
ماشي مغربي ماشي بعدا دنماركي ولا
Now,
اسباني
Andy
في انا.
looking to be aggressive and looking to push. The shots are still coming through. Anas continues his dominant solo performance. He plays 6
دقيقة.
games in the solos as invitational and 9th in DreamHack. And he's recently been turning online, you know, in the past couple months. It's really great to see him come into what he should become a
قدر يقدر يربح أنس
being picked up by
30
that
بوينت
organization.
مزيانة
With this disengage, though, it gets him a lot. He's able to refarm some of this metal as well if he wanted to hit that fence there. Refarm a lot of this wood as well. Benji picking up an elimination is good for him. But Anas, while he was in a good spot, now he's being pinched by these players.
شو دابا يبني يخشب
I believe he also
أمي
had
تبغى شي
solid
صزة
performance at DreamHack Anaheim.
يبني يخشب حيت يخشب ساير يتفارمو طيا في روتاسيون
Another player who was there, Bad Sniper, though, under pressure from Atlantis Lecce.
بات سنايبر
Box, Bad Sniper disengaging, does have plenty of shields and floppers if he can make the space, however, now in the zone, and that's a 2-6 zone, but as soon as it's over and it closes, it's going to
ايه سميتو مو سبيكتاتور
Bad
كلشي
Sniper
لعب
is
بزاف
going to have a lot of the pressure
كاش لعب زيرو في بينج
and having
بي
floppers
سي
compared to Lecce. Don't know the
احنا
loadout.
لاعبين
Doubt he has
هذا
as much
بين.
as
بوف
that, and
شي يقدر ليتشي
punish there, yep. No additional white nails coming out of the
ليش هذاك
اه
for Bad
هذاك
Sniper there. And
هذاك
that's a
يبقى
relatively
في
clear path.
هذا بات سنايبر اكل كلافي سوري قلت ليتشي وانا يطلع
ليش شي تكون بعيد منه يفرح.
نعم فري سهل تلعب بيه احسن من بلاي ولكن بلاي احسن من الاكس بوكس هيك الخص
All the cabbages has that knows exactly where to play directly into his stomach there. Also has the floppers and the bandages as well. So I'm actually going to argue that he should have used the bandages there and allowed the cabbages to kick himself over the top, but instead just pop that flopper and limit some of his mid-game and later game options there for safety as well. Coming on board
Hey.
with reason. Relatively solid performance was in ninth coming into this game.
اذكر تبقى دقيقة تمشي كتجري بيه بزاف
Long rotation he's going to have to make here.
ياك سولو تمشي تري بليوم تصلحو كيدير ليه فري كيل اصبر على الار بي جي
This is grand finals in Europe, the most played
لا
in
لا
region, arguably the most
لو كنا فلفلتو
talented region as well.
تو ريزون اصاحبي ديك غير باش ما اجوتيه تحت
Please do everything possible and make sure you're safe. It's all about covering yourself up afterward and allowing yourself to be in a position
او تبوزيسيونا
on in the game.
غادي يلعب الهاي جراوند ايزي وين
At capitalizing
لكن
on
الهاي جراوند تقدر وين نصغر انا غادي يلعب الهاي
yourself
جراوند
on the high ground, use those hard materials to make sure he's established and safe. But with Sturkey trying to encroach a little bit on this real estate, and that's the fights you're going to see. Reason opting to drop down and just return to his safety as everyone else is going to rotate into the zone. This
La
is
la.
zone number 4. So priority positioning is going to be towards the outside. We're going to be keeping an eye on who ends up going towards high ground.
راهو مونغرال بوحدو في كوانو
Out on that logo.
Easy able to make it here. Another player able to make it into this.
صافي ندير الان
And with that off-spawn elimination on the Noah Riley, I'm assuming that elimination there. Noah Riley went down early. Gotta be Mr. Savage taking him down, but as you see, And it's coming
أقدر
through
أكتب
nice and
بلاي ديالك
pick up
نايس
right now.
فري
Someone's
كيل
trying to capitalize on it.
سير
That's coming through. He's gonna pick up a double heat. He's gonna go down. He's gonna go down. Pressure's not done yet. The crash mat's coming
ولا
in.
تخلف
Crash
بيسي
master, Mr. Savage,
لا
gonna be able to pick some
خلف
up there.
بيسي وش
He's
قلت
ready to fight. He's ready to go aggressive. Someone on top of him. Gonna be bad sniper there.
أتحيد له الكارت جرافيك ديالو
Steady there as well. Savage really needs to make
من كود نتاعو جاني
going up into an old build will get him out for now. What a phenomenal head.
تاخدوا كود
Elimination. You
كود
realize
خذوا دخلوا عند كنيسة من في الإبيك جيمز
Nick Squeezy picking up an A-limb there. I believe that was on the Keelix. We have our top 50, so Storm Surge turning back off, second placement point, going over. And don't forget, it's game number 3, so we're about to be at
لازم تشوف سبيس رايب تليفون سبيس
opportunity with a knockdown for somebody else to unseat him and become that front runner. We talk so much about momentum, whether or not you can hang on, and whether or not you can get running. And Froggy, a player who thrives on momentum, finding a key elim there on the backside of the zone, using the launch pad, then getting in on the priority.
ما عرفتش
Half out, now closing in. After this, it will be all
هو فروغي
so it's all about making sure you're safe,
Sorry.
finding rotations, figuring out whether or not you're able to get to that next zone, and then trying to punish players around you who aren't doing it as good as you.
Lewick looking to capitalize on someone not paying attention to their wall. You see, inside the cone, just sitting there waiting. He could crash that in. We've seen it before. We saw it go against Benji. There's Hidden. He's going to fall as well. Hidden goes down. What a big elimination there. Another player near the top of the leaderboard going down. Savage falling as well.
غير تشكرت واحد
He knows there's players fighting below him, but he wants a piece of the action because he's only got 53 builds. He definitely needs to find something. His ammo lacking as well. 5 shots with that charge shotgun is going to go through in an instant in this endgame. He has to pick up an elimination. He also does not have priority on rotation as it's going away from him. Or crash as his inventory will allow him to rotate, but not as effectively. He's waiting for this player to just make a wrong edit and go out, but I doubt that they're going to fall for it.
يا أخي تدخل عندهم أمو بوم 44 أمو أوه جي جي ودبر على الأموال
Going down in 41st,
Boom.
the placement point, so a huge pick going right there. Mr. Savage still in the lobby as well. We're into the moving circles. That's the late game. You're going to start seeing players burning utility, using all their builds, just trying to get to that next safe zone and avoid fire from their opponents. But you also have to watch out for those sharks and those aggressive players, the playmakers, and the ones who are going to be the ones driving the action as we're on board here. The dual media snipe currently below the threshold for the Storm Surge, but that should turn off shortly here. Only 7 players need to fall. The media snipe will add into it right now, pushing himself by taking out Grip.
كل شيء مش عنده كل شيء هو الموت سبكتاتور ديال الفورتريس داير بحال هكا مباقي
خبرت عندي في البنك هذا
شحال
Inventory.
هي زين
This is what you want in this meta. You want to have as many crashers as you can. As bad snipers going to be caught trying to take a shield.
سنعقل
Squeezes in this game. Squeezes in this game. Lewick is in this
نفرمي تويت
here.
عاش كلاقي
Eliminations.
شحال تويت
We'll see if he's going to be able to get
عاد بينك هباط فوالا
Septos is also still up. We saw him there on the wide. That was the player who was in third. Should be able to push up as every 5 players will be a placement point. Reason gets kicked over by Frenzy Fishy. Orange takes out Cartoon. 74 gets Sebi closing in on top 20. That's another point going over. Now Rifle looking to add his name to that list. Players pushing their way up the leaderboard. But Septos picks up Longloss and Savage picks up Z Andy. So still a who's who of top players left. But that's everyone in the lobby. As Thomas HC gets another one. Mongrel picks up Elam and Rifle ends Mr. X's one. Skype also getting orange. 2 more players will need to drop before we close in on that top. Also gets Mongrel, but the question is, who's on the high ground? And is there Caddy Loot? And right as I say that,
ولا واش كيصير لا بلاك نايت ولا تخوت اللي كنتفرجوا فيهم
can we make it? 3 out of 3.
لا بلاك نايت تخوت يغلبوا هيك تقدر عاد تدخل لك معاك كنتفرجوا فيه
5 elims for Snipe, 3 for Rifle. Thomas on the high ground, wide on the left.
خاف
And Thomas using it so well, but Rifle is doing just as well as he's being aggressive there on the players who leave. That's going to be a squeeze in the box as he is going to get the elimination there. Thomas may have the high ground right now, but Rifle is putting on a show. Snipe as well, 5 eliminations. But going to get taken down there by Vadil. I'm going to take down another one as they're going up the mountain. He's reloading that shotgun because he's going to need it as Crash Mat's going through. 6 eliminations there for him. 4 for Rifle in the bottom right. Thomas still on the high ground. We're going up a mountain.
يا خلي انا شغل هذا وين يوم حضر
Very low HP.
ايوه يوم حضر ناخذ انا وياك
To the zone as well as Keen Rifle. Very, very healthy. Crash right up for high
ضد الهاي جراوند داري يتقدم الريبر
The HP wasn't enough, but Snipe with 6 eliminations. Player right on the edge of his life. He's gonna take down Snipe, and now Snipe versus Thomas versus Rifle. There's RPG's gonna go through. You may have to shockwave launch him, but
شكرت سكول
takes him down. 5 eliminations. Rifle versus Dual Snipe on the low ground. RPG gets
Why?
shockwave launcher as well. He's got too many things to reload. Will it be enough? Will he be able to do it? Dual Snipe in a bad spot though.
لا ممكنش شكرت اول سيزون 6 درت فيه دير تاخذ الكتاب
Not going to be a factor here. RPG going to be used. Rifle concerned on only using that. I think this
شكرت سكول في سيزون 6 درت ديفيات خرج ديفيات عطاهم للناس هاسي ما
running out. RPG going down. That should be the shot, and it is. He gets the tag. Drops down, comes through, and shotgun. Victory royale.
ديفيات بيشتغلوا في البيت
Brilliant decision from Rifle, opting to use the actual rocket launcher instead of that mythic shockwave launcher because the zone pulled back over old builds. He needed to destroy them. If you're covered,
جوق جوق فلانو تحب كله ضايع افزو
the destructive potential, secures the victory royale, and he says to his org mates, it's not about you right now, it's about me. All season, 3 games down, 3 games left. Zeke, Bala, Shio, please let us know what's going on.
إذا تزيد الجيمات زي
So tense at the top. This is absurd.
It is absolutely tense at the top. I mean, EU is firing on all cylinders today, and it is an all-out battle at the top. We have to take a look at the standings. Now, we know coming into this game, Anas was holding that number 1 spot. But the question is, how many points was he racked up in that last game? And does he still hold that number 1 spot?
I think it's going to be a dead heat at the top. I mean, it's neck and neck for so many different people because we've seen this kind of bounce all around. Everybody wants to be in this race.
Disciples is the one who's
Disciples
always in
واللول.
the lead in first place, 32 points.
اخوان فرنساوي كيعرف
He's
يلعب
playing so well that he
أنا
doesn't
سويت-
need a victory royale.
انس بازل يقدر يربح
Not at all. Flo is
قصدي غير لا
he kind of had that first moment, that game 1 win, and now so back. And then Rifle players who won the games are literally tied up at 30 points. It's all about Williams. There's even a tie.
شير خير البرك بس
He's still holding on to his spot.
انت جالس مسك زقرال
Second is now in 9th. Thomas HD, Letwick, these legend status names are just doing everything they can. It is not enough to keep up with the top 5.
And Rifle is showing he belongs in that top 10, right? Coming off his first
I
game,
know.
an 11th place,
شيري دار
73rd place, and now the victory out with 6 eliminations. These are the swings we need to see if people want that number 1 spot.
And there are swings happening. There might not all be seen because you can see it. Vidal in 19th place, he just had a very significant game. Look at the elims for him. He's actually tied up with those players up at the top of the leaderboards in terms of elims. He just needs to convert on some of these other games to make it really count.
Yeah, everyone past the top 10 are still hungry, and if they can't make these end games, just look at the elims for everyone. Carrot, Squeeze, AR Battle, they're past 5. They're fighting in that mid game, in the early game, doing whatever they can to get points and stay
احنا عادي نصطالي ديسكورد مع نصطالي هاسي كاين هنا سبقت لي ديسكورد
Halfway through this sprint, and we can see the finish line there. The question is, who will cross first?
يمكن لا احنا عندي نصطالي هذا ولا عندي نصطالي
Are completely off. These guys are
سؤال صعب سؤال صعب سؤال يغري بدوني وي
way there, and at this point,
الو
just trying to extend the lead until we get towards those final games and start dashing towards the win.
You gotta pace yourself though, right? We've seen it in end games, we've seen it on the leaderboards. These guys who are coming up on top to start with are now not being able to hold on to the first.
ما نقدر
وصلت كده ستريم دايزو
اه
To go around.
والله ما
I mean, there's a lot of stuff, as you mentioned, Bob, that we did miss out of this last game. You gotta break it down for us, man.
I think
There are so many things for these guys doing. It's kind of a freestyle on some attempts. Snipe for him. Long range charge shotgun shots on players like Bad Sniper who started the day off so strong, but Snipe will start to rise. And there's another one. He's just looking through these small peak boxes, just the space in the end game to build up the box and get more of these. Every time you look out, there's so many people fighting to try to stay alive.
Yeah, you mentioned Bill, who was very much alive in that last game, getting a record amount of 5 eliminations so far in his run in these grand finals. After that, still looking for more for everyone who was in this foot race. It was intentional to have.
طار عنده مني وحده.
And we said it. Things that were missed. 7 Tor goes off on a spree, back-to-back elims, and he does it so well. There's so many people here in his lane, but for most of them, it's a false start in this end game.
Yeah, he was so much looking for shots from box to box, had the AR to clear out walls. After that, got into boxes himself, couldn't get things from range. He was right up in your face. He got elims on players like Mr. Savage. And still played a phenomenal game, ending some of your
But there's no signs of anybody lapping anyone.
هذا جاء وقت اللي ربح الأسنسي الصالون الأخرى. أوف أدري فلان.
Lobby focus on the same person, and it works out for one, but then the player
شو كتلعب في فلاش بيشوف كيف
ends up getting put down. That was sneaky too.
That was a rough run for Rifletter.
ما يبغي وينك تدخل
لا تكون عندك تجلب ستاف وصفيات.
Still got the elimination down, got to hold down the wall, and the coolest RPG shot after this awesome elimination on the Thomas HD I've ever seen.
Oh, it's brash. So he's just got music and all the music.
Get these power weapons situated, but he shoots
the grenade RPG صافي.
And then connects with a drop down charge pump. What a play.
What a shot at the ends! That is ridiculous. We've seen that a number of times from the Caddy launcher players. Kit's shockwave launcher is so good, but in that case, he doesn't opt to use it at all. Just relies on his pure instincts.
Dude, that's all it takes sometimes. Sundown likes to
هذا
say
خدم
that
لنا
some
ايبك
days
جيم يا
دوما المعلقين
better
الإيبك
than
جيم.
someone else. And for Rifle, that's what we're seeing. He's like, hey, big time to make the moves. Now, guys, the competition does heat up. We need to cool down. We have 3 minutes left before we make
اللي علمنا حد الحياة.
we'll return by the conclusion from Europe. See you guys in 5.
دير بحال اوسم صاحبي. سير كشف سير بس وكتب اوسم.
يستاهلو. راجل كان في السواعدة.
عنده قرمقل.
اوكي 5 دقائق البوز. احنا نديرو 5 دقائق البوز.
شنو؟
نبداو الستريم.
الجاي.
ايه